What's up? Here we are, Tuesday. I'm with my daughter Isabella
Hello.
and my daughter Amanda.
Hi.
And we're gonna roast some coffee because later on I'm gonna go somewhere and I'm gonna have a little bit of it. So this is Ethiopian coffee, the best coffee in the world.
I want to pour it in.
It's raw. What color is that?
Dried clay.
Looks like dry clay.
Or pistachio.
I don't know if you can see that. Look at that.
Does not smell good.
No? Yeah, it does not smell like coffee when it's not roasted. So, I'm gonna put 2 of these, okay?
That was perfect on
So, Ethiopian coffee, single origin it says, green unroasted. So put that on there. Very hypnotic, watch them spin like that.
Look.
So, with coffee, like I've said before, the longer you roast, the more you decrease the caffeine, but you increase the flavor. So you wanna be in the middle somewhere, unless you want a lot of caffeine, and then you roast it a little bit. That's breakfast blend. But you know, I used to go to a place called Abon Pan or Pond, and they had really dark coffee. And at the time, I used to think it was loaded with caffeine. It was loaded with flavor, but the caffeine was low. Now, if you get a coffee that's really light in color, that's got the rich caffeine. So, you guys like Lawrence Welk?
Yeah.
Lawrence Welk. That show was big at my grandparents' house. My father, he'd watch it also, but my grandfather and grandmother, they really loved it. And I used to watch it too. I was entertained by the corniness of it. The clothing was sharp. And just everything about it, you know. I mean, shiny floors. That dude would come up and tap dance. So, and the theme song. That was a good theme song. So round and round it goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. There used to be a pinball game, pinball machine, and it's my favorite one, and it's at the circus, and you play it, and then every so often you get the ball in a hole, and then it would, the Ferris wheel, or whatever that was, it would spin in Ferris wheel, and then you would get bonus points, and it would say round and round she goes, where she stops, nobody knows.
Why?
That was just a saying.
Why?
You gonna have coffee after?
Yes. I will have some coffee too.
You will?
Yeah.
Sometimes I go to Costco's, and in the back, not all of them, some of them have it, they have a big roasting machine, coffee roaster. Looks like a fire engine or something. Big, it's got all these pipes. And if you're there at the right time, you can smell the coffee. It's a really good smell. For me, coffee and skunk smell close.
What?
Yeah. Sometimes I don't know if it's a Starbucks, by the highway, or if a skunk sprayed the place. One time I was walking in the middle of Sunset Boulevard up in Hollywood. I was walking with my mother somewhere, and somebody was smoking weed, and my mother goes, she goes, skunk. She goes, smell that skunk? And I'm like, yeah, I smell the skunk. But for a second I thought it was Starbucks. Because for me, skunk and fresh coffee smell the same. One day we're going to listen to Lawrence Welk music all day. What do you think? We're going to buy the greatest hits of Lawrence Welk and play them in the car when we go on a long road trip. Love that music. Yeah, my father liked that Spanish lady there. I forget her name. It was like started with an A. But she would come out and grab the microphone like this, and she had those shiny fingernails, and she was very elegant, And my father's eyes would freeze on the TV set. I forget what it was like, Amaranth, something like that.
6 more minutes.
Then there was a tap dancer, man. He'd get on there and do that in motion running thing, staying in one place actually. And then the guy that played the accordion. My father was a big accordion guy. Loved the accordion. He thought the Beatles would have been a lot better if they had an accordion player. Me, I'm kind of like that, but I kind of feel that way with the tuba. If they had a tuba player in the Beatles, they would have had more number one hits. Love that tuba. No, it's getting there. So how's it look?
Good.
So pretty much coffee's roasted. Isabella had to go inside. Amanda's still here. And
Spending time looking at the coffee.
we're done. Smells great. The fresh coffee roasting. Done. We're gonna store it in a Ziploc bag. For later use. What's up? How you doing? Here we are in the desert, and I can go for some coffee. Good time to make some. We roasted our own beans, so it's gonna be very good. Give it a shot. Coffee beans, water. So while we're waiting for the water to boil, we're gonna ground up some coffee. You can smell it right through the bag. And this is a Ziploc. That's rich coffee. We need some milk. Go down to the local cow ranch. Today we're going to use Altadena milk. Since 1945. That means right after World War II, they began this company. And look at the cow, all curious. Put some of that in my coffee. Delicious. Beautiful day today. Good coffee. You know, this coffee is good, but coffee is made better depending on the location you drink it at or in. Right here, nice location. And also the beach, the ocean early in the morning. Forest is another good place, top of a mountain. And even relaxing on a bench at the local park, that's good too. But I like having it here. Nice and quiet, peaceful, no interruptions. Nobody walking by, quiet. No human intervention. This is good to the last drop, but I haven't gotten there yet. You know, I saw this floating around in the air. I thought maybe it was a message from somebody, help me, I'm trapped. But nothing. But you know what? You look around here, and besides the shrubs that are growing, it's no different than visiting Mars. No different. Except that we have a good atmosphere. And you know, comfortable temperatures. But everything else, you know, looks like Mars. Like if you got rid of all this shrub here and you took a picture and you told somebody this is Mars, okay, the sky is not red, but that's from iron oxidation reflecting. Anyway, nice. You know, I've been coming here a very long time, and not one time have I seen a rattlesnake here. I've seen tarantulas, well, one tarantula. I've seen rattlesnakes, one rattlesnake. I've seen a rattlesnake out in the wild. One time, and that was where the Hollywood sign is. I was coming down from it and I wasn't paying attention to anything around me there. I was aware of my surroundings, but not down below where things are hidden. And then I heard the rattle, and I look, and about 15 feet away from me was a rattlesnake curled up with the tail swinging, and I was heading in its direction. Another 10 steps or so and I would have been there, but it warned me. And then when I looked at it, I go, wow, that's camouflaged. You know, looked like it was wearing some kind of outfit with different spots on, you know, like little background colors. So I didn't go that way, and I'm glad it had that noise to warn me. Otherwise, who knows? I mean, I may have noticed it the very last second after I got bitten. But that's the only time I've seen a rattlesnake. And tarantula, it wasn't even a spider, but a tarantula. It looked like a tarantula. Maybe it was some other type of spider, because I don't think a tarantula is really a spider. It may be, but I think I've read that tarantulas are not spiders. They're not enough legs on it or something. I don't know. So I was out here. This was like 5 years back. I was out here with my daughters, and one of my daughters was roaming around about 100 feet away from us, and she runs over and says, I just saw a big spider. And I go, okay, leave it alone. And she stayed with us. And about 15 minutes later, I look, and there's this big tarantula coming towards us, like a welcoming committee or something. And my daughter said, that's the one, that's what I saw. And I said, wow, that's huge and hairy. Needed a shave. If I had buzzers on me, I would have shaved that thing right down. But anyway, it found us. It was like, they're the people, let me go over there, see what's going on. It didn't bother us, but you know, and I know they're not poisonous, but still, you know, a honeybee's not poisonous, but you don't want to get stung by it either. I mean, it may contain a little bit of poison, whatever that stinging sensation is. But anyway, it came to us. And then one time, probably around the same time, 5 years back, maybe even less than that, 4, we were at the Grand Canyon, and my daughter Amanda, we were all in this little gift shop there, and she was looking at this thing, and she calls me over, and I look, and she picked it up, and it was a scorpion. And I said to her, put that down, that's not fake, it's real. It looked fake, it looked like it was a toy, it looked like a little rubber tarantula, scorpion. Couple of birds, 3 birds, but it was a real scorpion, and she had picked it up by the stinger, so it couldn't sting her, but she thought it was fake. And she put it down. It was behind children's books. She picked up a little kid's book in this gift shop, and right behind it, that's where the scorpion was kicking back, enjoying time. So I had to smooth it out. I took that book and stomped the scorpion and got rid of it. There's a lot of kids in there. You didn't want a kid to get bitten. And then we called one of the store cashiers over, and he said, "Oh," he goes, "that's a scorpion." He goes, "Oh, good thing you got it," he goes. I said, "Yeah," and then he came with a bag and got rid of it. But yeah, my daughter got lucky. She picked it up by the tail. Otherwise, if she grabbed it by the body, that thing would have stung her. And they're not deadly, but they're very annoying. Very annoying. And to this day, she's kind of like a fan of scorpions. She'll buy necklaces with a little scorpion on the bottom. She's become like Tarzan. She feels like maybe the scorpions got connections with her. Tarzan had it with the apes. Anyway, that's trying to think any other time. Many years ago, when I was in the 5th grade, we took a nature walk with my class, and we went through this forest. And as I was walking in the woods, I looked down, and there was a big spider. Now, this was actually a spider, and it was kind of hairy. Had hair on it, like pubic hair. And I went to, touch it on the back, and I don't know how fast it spun around, and it stung me on my index finger. And what it felt like was intense stinging. It felt like I cut my finger and somebody poured rubbing alcohol in there. It was very intense, and I was just like, I gotta take the pain. So it lasted for, I don't know, I want to say like 10 minutes, where it was like throbbing, stinging sensation. And then it died out. And then another time, I was climbing rocks. I was like 13 years old, climbing rocks, and I had a friend of mine who was like 20 feet below. And we're trying to get to the top of this area. And all of a sudden, I noticed there's wasps flying around me. And I look, and there was a hole in the rock where the wasps made a nest in there. And as I turned around to tell my friend, watch out, there's wasps here, there's a nest, just as I'm saying those words, one lands on my right shoulder and stings me. And it felt like an ice pick going in slowly. And when we got to the top, we had to get out of that area because there was like thousands of them. I took my shirt off and I looked at my shoulder, and there was a red dot where this thing stung me, and that was a painful sensation. The worst, bee kind of related animal or insect, whatever, that stung me. And then in the 8th grade, I got stung by a bee. Outside, we went outside to the back of the school. It was a nice day, springtime, and they said, let's go downstairs and do our English class there. So we went down there, and a bee stung me there. Another time I got stung in my friend's car. Had a friend, he had his sister's car, and I went to sit on the seat, and there was a bee there apparently, and it stung me on the back of my thigh. Annoyed me. So yeah, there's been a few times that I get stung, but it's been years. And now that I said that, you'll see in a few minutes, in a couple of days, I'll get stung by a bee. I see black widow spiders all the time, but as of today, I've never got stung by a black widow. That'll probably happen, but that one I hear is very painful. Not the stinging, that's not painful. That's nothing. The after effects, you get abdominal pain, you feel like it's appendicitis, you may vomit, you feel dizzy, a whole bunch of things happen. And for older people, it could be fatal. If you have somebody who's very old and weak, I see them all the time in the backyard. I smooth them out. Get that red dot on their belly. Looks like they're trying to hypnotize you. But I heard that, you know, they really don't want to waste their venom on you. That is venom they have. So a lot of times when you get stung by a black widow, it'll be a blank, because they don't want to waste it. They just want to warn you, stay away. And they're always low to the ground. You know, they're never up high like some other spiders. They'll make their web up top, and it's a nice looking web. You know, all these nice little, you know, decorations in there. The black widow does not have a web that looks that great, and it's to the ground. You know, you'll find them at the bottom of a, you know, outdoor chair or something like that. You know, maybe 6 inches, 7 inches off the ground. And they're just waiting there. Anyway, beautiful day. Good coffee. Coffee from Ethiopia. I love Ethiopia. Beautiful country. I'd like to visit one day, but, you know, very far. I don't mind flying for a few hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, but Ethiopia, that's far. And they don't have these planes anymore that I appreciated when I was growing up. The 747, huge inside, roomy, had the side rows, middle row was huge. Walked around the plane, got a little exercise. Saw the movie Airplane 74, Airplane 77. Big fan of those planes. Now we get the 737s, the 777, 757s, Airbuses out there. I've never been on an Airbus, and I hear those are dying out. I'm a big fan of the big airplanes. Bigger the better. If they made a 747 that was double that size, like 747 XL or 3XL, that would be even better.